I bet with Interbet only. They're a fantastic site. I've never had any issues with them. They are very professional. There's never a problem. You deposit money, 2 seconds later it's in your account. You withdraw, which I do very occasionally, and I believe it's also 2 seconds it's in your account.
Welcome back for race number 3, which will be contested over a distance of 1,600 meters. And hopefully Dees and I can be of a bit more assistance in this event. The first 2 races, as we mentioned, look to be match races. Dees, race number 3, when you look at the field and you dissect them, let's start with number 1, Daza. Course and distance, 1 from 1, both victories on the poly track. Bounced back to best last time out, and after going to the Cape, seemed to come back and really enjoy being back in KwaZulu-Natal.
Yeah, being back in KwaZulu-Natal, because that's where he started off his career. The money was down. If you followed the betting support, you got the cash. It was really nice to see him bounce back to his best. He's nicely drawn at 1. Grimaldi, well, last time out they tried, to possibly race him up handy, and he didn't find a finish. He's engaged the services of Samanga Kumalo, and we'll see how Grimaldi goes. Number 3, his choice, Unreynal and Platinum Racing, for my money, will have to improve. The one thing that catches the eye is possibly the rating drop from a 102 to an 86. Mr. Pigalle, now here's a horse that regardless of how the race turns out for him, he's going to be doing his best work at the finish.
How's his record? 30 runs, of which 15 have been on the poly.
Yes.
So of them, half of his races have been on the poly. 5 wins, 3 seconds, a third, 3 fourths. All his successes have been achieved on the poly track. The Peter Muscat stable have him in fine fettle. He ran just 3 days ago, and he's the type of horse, the hotter the pace, they drop him right out of it early on. He really turns it on. Number 4, Mr. Pigalle. So he's certainly going to be a real live wire. Just getting back to number 2, Grimaldi. Looking at the draws from the last 402 runs, number 3, his choice. The most number of winners have come from trap number 3 over the course and distance, and the second most from draw 2, Grimaldi. And last time out, I actually fancied him in a bit of a roughie. The blink, the cheek pieces and tongue tie, too keen, back to a mile, 2 wins on the poly. I think that could be the lurker for the exactors and trifectas.
Well, hopefully, he has to do something now, Mr. Bo in Ngobo. So hopefully this horse can, bounce back to some of his better form. Wave Warrior, I'll possibly say I'm in the camp of the stable companion. I prefer Mr. Pigalle. Maximus, he needs to have things his own way, and when he does just that, gets to the front, soft lead, he is very difficult to catch. He doesn't tire easily. And then numbers 7 and 8, Immeasurable and Ralph the Rascal.
I caught the right wave with Immeasurable last time out because I'd followed him his previous runs, and I thought when they bring him back down and trip, he's going to run a cracker. So I thought 25-1 was a big price last time. And then listening to the post-race interview, Paul said he has soundness issues, and he was sound on that occasion. Absolutely flew to beat them. A little bit more to do. And then Ralph the Rascal, another horse who loves the poly track. So all in all, race number 3, there's 3 or 4 runners that do definitely have distinct winning chances. And then there's 3 or 4 who have those second and third places in them. When you get put in a corner, I think number 2 for me, Grimaldi, that's going to be my each way value lurker.
Well, I'm looking at the race and the way I think it's going to go. This time round, I'm hoping, and I'm really hoping that the other jockeys are more creative against a horse like Maximus. You know what's going to happen with a front runner, and you need to have a plan to try and beat the horse. Because if you give him a soft lead, I can see him running all the way to the line. But I'm going to go with a horse that's coming from off the speed today, and I'm going to go with number 4, Mr. Pigalle, and number 8, Ralph the Rascal. I think those 2 horses in the small field, even if they're sitting towards the back of the field, they've got 7 runners to pass by. So I'm going to go with a horse that's coming from off the pace, maybe numbers 4 and 8, with a lot of respect for number 1, Tauza, because back in KZN, he seems to grow another leg. So in order of preference, Sheldon, I'm going to give 4, 8, and 1.
There we go. These is going 4, 8 and 1. And who's to argue with these? Number 4, Mr. Pegal. Like we mentioned, he's an absolute specialist on the poly surface. And he's probably the horse that they're all going to have to fear, flying at them late on.
Alberto, founder of Ladles of Love. It was founded back in 2014. Communities we work with are all over the peninsula. And we're working with 138 beneficiaries now. We've grown exponentially. We've been able to do that because of all the kindness that we have experienced from individuals and corporates such as Interbet, who just want to be part of the change.